The Folk Tales of the Mountain Backdu. Hello. Today I am going to tell of the story of the Little Cheonji. Young A, once upon a time, a child was born in a thatched house in the mountain Backdu. His first cry was particularly resounding and high, whether it was a complaint that he was born as a posthumous son.
Oh, the baby is a son, precious son.
The helper expressed her delight to the baby's mother. There was a smile on the face of the baby's mother. The smile was full of joy at her son's birth and faith in her son, as well as a sense of self-worth as a mother who had completed her mission.
I want you to call him Boku.
There was a strong light on the mother's face that could not be named.
Yes, plump Boku. You must grow up well.
Calling baby's name that his mother named, the helper flattered the mother with compliments. Boku grew up healthier than any child, more sagacious and wise. It was one evening in the year that Boku turned 10. His mother called for him and let him sit down in the presence of her.
Boku, do you know how your father died?
Beginning to speak as this, the mother rubbed the edge of her eyelid and told in detail her son what happened when her husband had died.
One day, the most vicious dragon appeared on the mountain Backdu and threatened people with violence, running back and forth. The people who were being died in the evil of the dragon, and the people who were being ran away, and the villages became desolate, and the grievance of the people increased day by day. At that time, your father was a brave man with a huge and strong body. Your father risked his life and fought against that dragon, but he came home mortally wounded and died within a few days. Your father closed his eyes and left this will.
The mother, who has spoken so far, was unable to speak because she choked with grief.
Oh, mother, what did my father say to you?
Boku shook his mother's knees and urged her.
Your father said as follows: if you bear a male child and send him to the Samsin mountain to learn the Taoist magics and the martial arts, so that he can avenge me and the people of our village. So I named you Boku, which means the avenge.
When Boku heard father's will, he recalled his own name and squeezed his two fists.
Mother, I am 10 years old. It's not the age of child. Tomorrow, I will go to the Samsin mountain.
Oh, I am proud of you, my son, Boku.
That evening, the mother prepared for her son's journey all night. Boku, who came to the Samsin mountain, knelt before the Samsin king and told the story of his visiting that king. The Samsin king scrutinized Boku from the top to the bottom for a long time. The boy has a round face, 2 eyes of a brilliant hue and rather thick lips. He is a boy, looked quite intelligent.
Do you have the confidence in you to learn?
Oh, your majesty, even if my body breaks, I must learn it.
Boku answered in strong and firm. Spinning his rosary, the Samsin king gave him an order in a slow tone.
First, go to the Bonglei mountain and study the Tao for 3 years. Next, go to the Bongjang mountain and master the martial arts for 3 years. Finally, go to the Yeongju mountain and exercise the techniques of using fist for 3 years.
Yes, sir. I will do as you command.
Boku came out of the Samson King and learned for 9 years. Before long, he became a man and visited his mother. His teachers and the Samson King saw him off to a far place. Boku flew easily and came to his home and landed in the yard.
Mother!
Boku called his mother in a voice of strong and deep emotion. The lady whose hair under her ears turned grayish opened the door and came out. His mother was old already. He fell his knees and said,
Mother! I am back!
The mother could not think of a vigorous youth man was really her son, because the son who was kneeling in the presence of her was looked like too tall and strong. A son. His mother had been longing for him day and night. A mother. Her son had been longing for him day and night. Through eyes and eyes, a hot feeling between the mother and the son was exchanged.
Oh, my son, Boku. You're back. You're finally back.
The mother stroked the back of her son, Boku, and said over again, You're back, you're finally back. The neighbors came to hear the hearsay that Boku had come. They all doubted their own eyes. It was probable for them, because, in their minds, there was a 10-year-old Boku only. There was no Boku of today. At that time, judging from his height alone, he was about 3 meters tall. So then, it was not need to say more about any condition.
Oh, he has really changed beyond recognition.
The neighbors were proud of him.
I wouldn't have recognized him if there wasn't a freckle under his auricle.
His mother said out of self-confidence and in boastful mind. As the neighbors were parted from each other, the mother made a request to her son.
My son, show me what you've learned.
Boku could not refuse his mother's request, so he took her outside. With the sound of wishing, Boku disappeared suddenly. His mother looked around everywhere, but her son was nowhere to be seen. She was about to shout. Then, her son came down slightly in front of her.
Where did you go?
I've been on clouds for a while.
What? Before I was aware of it, shut.
She was astonished. There were rocks as big as houses in front of them. Boku sat down in front of the rock and pounded on it with his fist. The rocks flew away like gravels that were filled in the field and fell off with a thud.
Mother! Let's get back home.
Yeah, I do. I'm too scared to see more, even if you ask me to see more. Now, get on the road to revenge, as your name suggests. Do not appear before this mother again until you have avenged our mortal enemy.
The next day, the mother who had packed for his son a traveler's equipment came out to the outside of a village entrance and stood there until her son disappeared.
God, help my son, Boku.
The mother who had prayed desperately to heaven backed home and shed tears. Her son, who had been separated for 9 years, only 3 nights with her and left. It was when Boku climbed up to the peak of the mountain Backdu in search of his enemy. Suddenly, the sky became black and the fist-like hail dripped under the cliff. When he looked into the dark clouds, there was a dragon sitting.
Take my fire, you bastard!
From the sky, this dragon pressed down him and threw up a deep black fire. Boku sneaked out of that fire, grabbed a large sword. The 청사량인도 flew high up into the sky and fought the dragon. Where the dragon's fire reached, The rocks also were drilled and collapsed. Boku struck the dragon's head with the Chae like a thunderbolt. The Chae bounced like a horn with a clank. That guy is a tough nut to crack. This thought flashed in the mind of Boku and in the mind of the dragon at the same time. The dragon suddenly gushed up and tried to coil around Boku with his tail. Boku descended like an arrow to the ground. The dragon flew straight down to Boku and opened his crimson mouth wide and wide. Boku flew over, got the rainbow, and soared high up into the sky. The dragon followed him closely. As if an eagle chased a hawk, a tiger seemed to be trying to hit a rabbit. The dragon tried to snatch at him with a terrible momentum, but every time it turned up vain efforts. Boku stared at the dragon and smashed the dragon with his 청사량인도. The dragon swooped down on Boku and tried to swallow him with its dark mouth opening wide. At a risky moment when the dragon was about to swallow Boku threw himself like a lightning bolt and grabbed the dragon's neck strongly. The dragon suffocated suddenly and struggled to escape from the clutch of Boku. Boku grasped the dragon's tail with his left hand like a willow branch was bending with strong winds. The dragon lost its vigor like a fish caught in tongs.
Boo!
Boku shouted and held the dragon over his head, and he hurled the dragon down at a distant, dim cliff with his all strength. The dragon that weighed thousands of kilometers was thrown so vigorously that the dragon hit the wind and broke the cliff in two. Boku followed the dragon and pulled out the rock vigorously and pressed the dragon's head severely with that rock. It is said that this is the rock which is soaring to the west of the present Soanji. The Soanji means the Little Cheonji. Boku did not kill the dragon at a stroke because the sins of the dragon penetrated to the heavens. He said that a cruel and ruthless dragon must be laid under a rock to suffer for 1,000 years, 10,000 years. Boku filled with water into the place where the rock was pulled out, and it became the Soanji of today. This Soanji has only an incoming stream and no outgoing waterway. But because the dragon under the rock drinks water, the water does not always increase or decrease.